In this video, we are going to build the navigation for our phone version. So let's begin. First thing we need to do is to open our hero component and then select our nav stack, right click and create component. Now let's change variant 1 to desktop or default. And let's add an icon from our icons menu. Let's choose this library. Let's search for a menu icon. There it is. Now let's change the color to white. And let's use the keyboard shortcut Control Alt Enter. So we want to create a new stack for the menu icon. Let's rename the stack name to menu, and let's change menu's name to icon. Now let's cut the menu stack and place it inside the logo wrapper stack, just like this. Now we want to make sure the visible property is set to no. So let's duplicate the default variant and let's change variant to phone closed. Now let's change the width of phone closed to 358 pixels. Now we want to select the links and the contact wrapper stacks and change the visible property to no. Now let's select our menu stack and change the visible property to yes. Now let's duplicate phone closed. Let's change variant 3 to phone open. Now let's select links and contact wrapper stacks and change the visible property to yes. Let's select our phone open variant and change the direction to vertical. Let's change the distribute property to start and the gap to 48. Now let's select our menu icon and let's change it to an X icon like this. Now let's select our links stack and change the direction to vertical. Let's change the align property to left, the gap between items to 12 pixels. Now let's select the text layers inside links and change the font size to 32 pixels and the weight to medium. Now let's select contact button stack and change the width to fill. Let's also add more padding to the top and bottom. Let's add 16. Let's replace the number with 16 on top and bottom. Now let's select the text layer inside the contact button stack and change the font size to 20 pixels. Now let's select the menu stack from our phone closed variant and let's use this icon, connect and navigate, and drag it to phone open variant. We want to leave the interaction on click. Now let's select the menu stack from our phone open variant and use the connect and navigate icon to connect it to the phone closed variant, just like this. And again, the interaction is on click. Now let's take a look at the preview. As you can see, we have our closed variant here and our open variant here working smoothly. Now let's go back to our hero component. Let's go to our phone variant and select the nav instance, and let's change the variant to phone closed. Just like this. Now let's go back to our home page and let's preview our phone version. As you can see, here is our menu. So far, so good. Now, let's open the nav component again. And this time, let's go to the default variant. And now let's add some links. So we want the logo, which is Alex at the moment, to be connected to our home page. So when users click on our logo, we want them to go to our home page. So from the right panel, let's click on this field right here and select our home page. Next, we want to connect the About Me text layer to the About page. So again, using the same process, clicking here on this field and selecting the About page. Now, for these two, the process is a bit different. So let's go back to our home page. And as you can see, from the right panel, I have this section. I already named this section projects, but let's delete that for a moment. And also from our services section. If you want to link to a specific section in your page, you can do that by clicking on the plus icon next to scroll section and giving that section a name. As you can see, the name is currently projects. Let's do the same thing for the services section. As you can see, the section's name is services. So now let's go to our nav component and let's select the projects text layer and let's click on this field right here. And now let's select the home page. And as you can see, we have this section drop down right here. So we can choose our sections, our different sections. So let's select the projects section. And also here you can choose if you want the transition to be instant or smooth. So let's select smooth. Now let's do the same thing for our services text layer. So we'll select our home page, and from the drop down, let's select services and change the scroll to smooth. So as you can see, we already have the links right here. No need to do the same process again because we already did the process in our primary variant. So the next thing we're going to do is to select our contact button. And now, if you want to add an email, if you want your users to be able to send you an email, you can do this by selecting this field again, but this time you need to type mail to and write your email address. This is my email address. So that's it. Very simple. Now, every time a user will click on this button right here, you know what? Let me show you. Let's open the preview and let's click on the contact button. Now, as you can see, I get this prompt to open this mail to link with an app. So every time someone clicks this button, they can send an email to the address I just entered. Now let's go to our About page and open the About Hero component. And now we can just delete this nav stack, and instead we can use the nav component we just created. So let's select the primary variant. Make sure this one is at the top. And now we need to change the width to fill, just like that. And from our phone variant, we need to change the variant of our nav instance to phone closed. Now, let's select the nav instance in our phone variant, and let's click on the plus icon right here and add a Z index or Z index property. And let's give it a value of 2. Now let's open the preview and see how everything looks. So this is the desktop version, and this is the phone version. As you can see, the links are working. And I think everything works great. We can always change the menu, make it full screen menu. Maybe we'll do that in another lesson, but I think for now we are done. And if you have any questions, any concerns, please write them down in the comment section, and I will see you in the next lesson.